in all states.
Police in southern India have a great train robbery of their own to investigate. It's a $750,000 plus heist.
The heavily guarded train was carrying more than 200 chests of used and damaged banknotes. They belonged to the Reserve Bank of India and were on their way to Chennai to be destroyed. But on arrival, when officials broke the seal on the carriage, they found chests broken open and looted and a hole cut in the train's metal roof. It's unclear whether thieves hid inside the carriage before it was sealed and later escaped through the roof, or somehow climbed onto the roof while the train was moving and cut their way in.
The BBC's Jill McGivering. Striking workers on a British rail network have called off the final 2 days of a strike that has disrupted the journeys of hundreds of thousands of commuters. The Union for the Workers has agreed to a new round of contract talks. Staffers had walked off the job on Monday. News and analysis at townhall.com. A landslide of reaction to House Speaker Paul Ryan's landslide win in the Wisconsin Republican primary.
Ryan absolutely obliterated political newcomer Paul Nealon, who ran against Ryan's insider status.
It is a pretty resounding reminder that not the entire Republican Party has been hijacked, for lack of a better term, by Donald Trump and by his type of supporters.
The Hills, Tim Alberta.
Wisconsin, on the other hand, is nothing like the National Republican Party, as we saw during the presidential primary season where Donald Trump suffered his worst defeat there.
Alberta tells the Salem Radio Network there was never any real chance of unseating Ryan in a district where he remains immensely popular.
Correspondent Wally Hines. Delta Airlines still struggling with its computer systems. More than 150 flights canceled so far today. That's on top of the 800 that were scrapped yesterday. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Long's Billiards in Newport News is having a massive sale. 7, 8, even 9-foot tables are at an all-time low price, including Connolly, Brunswick, and Olhausen. 1,000 pool cues in stock are up to 30, 40, even 50% off. Over 100 pool tables also on sale. When gone, they're gone forever. Log on to longsbilliards.com. Call 599-3661 and visit them at 9906 Warwick Boulevard. Major clearance prices going on now at Long's Billiards.
From Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome to Sports Scene right here on News Talk 1650. Thank you, Ken Johnson. Joe Daniel Gutierrez is producing as well. Every Wednesday, 12 to 1. This is Sports Scene, the premier talk show in the state of Virginia, right here on TuneIn.com by typing WHKT in your search box. 1650 AM, 10,000 watts of power in Hampton Roads. Twitter at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, and HR@OneLineMall.com. And the radio station's Twitter handle is WHKT AM 1650. Thank you to our military. Great guest lineup as well. Featured guest will be Jim Watson. We'll talk about the Olympics. He's one of the announcers. Also does work in the WNBA. Sponsors on the homepage of GJBTV.com and the marketplace sponsors. Take a look at all the icons, including the Hall of Fame page. Guest lineup presented by Meek can see a Mexican restaurant with 2 great locations in Virginia Beach. You can see their link on the restaurant section in HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Phone line presented by Newcastle and Chesapeake. Sponsors in August are Fink's Car Care, Spaghetti Eddie's, Long's Billiards, Newcastle Crawl Space Doors. Well, the Olympics are going on. A lot of fun there. The Hall of Fame game got canceled this past weekend due to bad turf, and that's my issue with that. Here you are, got a major network TV broadcast, big festivities. It's played on basically a high school football field. Move it to a college football field or just move it to where the Browns play. It's not meant to be on a high school football field anymore, no matter how much you renovate it as well. High school football coaches out there listening, let the kids enjoy the summer. They're not thinking about football in June or July. Yes, it's August. Let them enjoy the summer before they start having to do their high school football coaching duties. Reality is you're coaching high school, not college or the NFL. Excited about A-Rod's game on Fox Friday night as the Yankees take on the Rays in A-Rod's final game as a Major League Baseball player. He's had a stellar career, although controversial career, with Seattle and, of course, the Yankees and the Rangers, just to name a few. All right, stay tuned for our featured guest. We'll be talking Olympics with Jim Watson, part of the NBC Sports Talent lineup. This is Sports Scene on 1650 AM. TuneIn.com, type in WHKT. Greg Bick on Twitter, GregBic. Add me on Facebook. We'll be back after these messages. People in Chesapeake and Hampton Roads have come to expect the finest Italian food at Spaghetti Eddie's. In addition to great lunch and dinner served daily, this fine establishment caters to and can host your party. Call 484-7301 for their Taylor Road location and call 410-5500 for their restaurant in Greenbrier. For more, log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com. Hi, this is Greg Bicouvaris, inviting you to join me for Sports Scene live each Wednesday from noon to 1, right here on News Talk 1650 and TuneIn.com by typing WHKT in the search box. Excellent guests and interaction at Greg Bick on Twitter, all powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Sports Scene each Wednesday from noon to 1, right here on News Talk 1650.
When it comes to automobile service in Hampton Roads, Fink's Car Care is the destination locals have counted on for decades. Family owned and operated, they specialize in transmission service, oil changes, state inspection, radiator service, tires, alignments, and showcase Win Automotive products. Fink's does it all. Military and senior discounts are available. Like them on Facebook and visit them at 2711 Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 485-5555 today.
Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to gjbtv.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene on 1650 AM and TuneIn.com.
Joe Daniels, like the maestro orchestra over here, directing and everything. Just radio behind the scenes, folks.
Good thing they can't see me.
Exactly. All right, this is Greg Bicouvaris, only fitting Aussie Hollywood bass. We have our next guest, who's the voice of the Sparks, longtime talent out in the West Coast, part of the NBC lineup for the Olympics. It's a privilege and pleasure to welcome Jim Watson, very involved in gymnastics. Had a chance to work with him several weeks ago during the Sparks Mystics game in Washington. Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
Let me just say that you were the best stat man I've had this month in Washington on the WNBA game.
Oh, remember I was your stage manager. Remember?
Of course you were. Yeah. Oh yeah, you were doing stage. That's right.
Yes, numbers. I'm not a numbers guy at all. But anyway, but a pleasure to talk to you as well. Tell us your background first of all, Jim, for the people out here on the East Coast.
I couldn't do anything growing up. I was terrible at everything, so I became a sportscaster because it doesn't take much. I was a bartender, and somebody found me and found I could talk and tell a story, so I got into cable TV, did some high school football in Los Angeles for free, came back the next year, got $50 a game. Just kept doing it, ended up in a local cable system. Then Fox found me when they started, Fox in Los Angeles started a second network doing a lot of high school and college stuff, so that was a perfect entree for me. And then from there, I ended up working for NBC. I've done, this is my 5th Olympic Games, and worked for the Dodgers for 16 years, worked for the Lakers for about 6 or 7 years as their sideline guy. And I think now I've done, counting this Olympics, I think I've done 29 different sports. So I'm a utility guy. Most people probably wouldn't recognize the name, but they might know the voice.
Right. Let me ask you a couple things, too. You mentioned the Dodgers before we talk about the Olympics. And, of course, Dusty Baker, former great Dodger, played with Steve Saxton, so many great players as the manager of the first place Nationals. I'm still kind of surprised. And was there ever any talk when he was managing the Cubs or the Reds that, the Dodgers, and he was, Tommy Lasorda's top guy, would scoop him up and become the manager of the Dodgers at one time?
Great question. And, Tommy is still involved, deeply with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He was there every day when I was working there. I stopped working for the Dodgers 2 years ago. But, the Dodgers, when the O'Malley family owned them, it was all about family. It was all about, they called it the Dodger Way. They even wrote a book called The Dodger Way, which they would give to rookies and new players in Vero Beach at spring training every year. And you would have just thought that's a natural for the Dodgers. Somebody that was raised in their system, who knows everybody, who's well-known, is brought right up through the ranks. And for some reason, when the O'Malleys sold to Fox, and then Fox sold to Frank McCourt, and of course now it's the Guggenheim Group, they've gone away from that. They've become, Guggenheim is the owner of the Dodgers. Guggenheim is based in Chicago. Mark Walter, who's the CEO, the guy who runs Guggenheim, he's a Cubs guy. I mean, he loves the Dodgers now, of course. That was his opportunity to become a Major League Baseball manager, but he wasn't based in Southern California. So that's why they got Magic Johnson in there as the front guy, so people locally, had a face that they recognize. But it's a great question. I mean, Dusty Baker turned out to be a fantastic manager. I think the timing was off, and so when Dusty was available, the Dodgers already had somebody, and then when the Dodgers needed somebody, I think Dusty was pretty happy in San Francisco. But yeah, a lot of people in Los Angeles have been asking those questions for a long time. It's been other guys, too, other Dodger greats from the past who have kind of sniffed around. People talked about Oral Hershiser for a long time because he's got such a great baseball mind. But for whatever reasons, timing, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, one more note about Dusty before I move on. He managed the Reds from 08 to 13, led them to the postseason in 10, 12, 13, including 2 division championships, one of the all-time great Dodgers, and the 10 division championship and playoff trip was the first for the franchise back then in 15 years. So the guy gets it done, whether he's with the Cubs or the Giants, the Reds, and now the Nationals right in first place. Moving along, let's talk about your Olympic experience. Talk about it this year, what is relevant for you, and tell the fans where they can find you at on what network.
So I'm working for the digital side this time for the first time ever, so it's NBCOlympics.com. And today is the men's all-around final. So the best male gymnast in the world will go on all 6 events. Everybody has to do all 6. Top scorer wins the gold medal. Last night was the women's team final. And if you're not following this women's Olympic team for the United States is by far the greatest Olympic team, greatest gymnastics team ever assembled. The big name, Simone Biles. Tomorrow is the women's all-around. She is a heavy gold medal favorite, not only to win the all-around, but then later in the week in 3 individual events. So she could win 5 gold medals in one Olympics. Nobody's ever done that. Allie Raisman is the captain. She was on the gold medal team in London. Gabby Douglas, who won the gold medal in the all-around, she's on this team. They have a 16-year-old named Lori Hernandez, who was kind of a surprise, kind of broke out of the mold maybe 2 years ago, then last year became a senior elite gymnast. She's just so much fun to watch because she's 16, so she's wide-eyed. It's her first Olympics. You can see her life changing each time she sticks a performance. And then they have a specialist named Maddie Koshin, who's from Dallas. They brought her in just to bolster their uneven bars lineup. It all came together last night. Marta Caroli, the longtime coach, this is her swan song. She's going out, and they set a record for points last night. They blew away the competition. It wasn't even close. It was a battle for the silver medal. Russia ended up getting just past China at the end last night. So it was a lot of fun. We'll be on today, 3 o'clock Eastern, with the men's all around. But, it's every day, and people think, you just kind of saddle up and watch gymnastics. But seriously, I have 60 bios in front of me I have numbers from qualification, from trials, from world championships. You're trying to tell stories. I'm working with Courtney Carter, who was a 4-time national champion at Georgia and a silver medalist back in 2004. She's working on the women's side. And then on the men's side is Jonathan Horton, who should be on this Olympic team. John's been to two Olympics in a row, but he had a rotator cuff, so he's out of this one. And actually, both of them are working on, Courtney's working on the men's with us, and John's working on the women's. So it's been a lot of fun. But this women's gymnastics team for the United States, even if you're not a huge gymnastics fan, if you're just a casual Olympic fan, turn it on and just watch them, because who doesn't want to see the greatest at anything?
Absolutely. Talking to Jim Watson, part of the NBC talent lineup with the Olympics. Of course, a lot of excitement always. And I tell you one thing, Jim, whether it's the digital side or Bravo or NBC or CNBC, NBC Sports Network, or, of course, NBC, they just really have brought it to the homes, to the computers, to the phones very, very well.
Yeah, what's funny is when they first asked me, and I had done, in 2000, I did beach volleyball in Australia. It was the greatest event I've ever done. I don't know if you've ever been paid for 30 days to go to work in a bathing suit and flip-flops, but
nice.
That's what happened to me. And I worked with Karch Karai and Mike Dodd, two of the all-time greatest beach volleyball players. And get this, Greg, you'll love this. Yeah. My sideline reporter on beach volleyball for a month was Bill Walton, and he was just hysterical. And we hung out every day, and he told these amazing stories. After we'd work almost 2 hours a day, we'd walk across the road and have fellowship in one of the local watering holes there at Bondi Beach. So I did that. Then I did indoor volleyball in 2004. That was also on the TV side. And then in London, I did taekwondo and weightlifting. So I've had a lot of different experiences. And they found a new one for me here on the digital side. And, I'm an older guy. Digital, who's going to watch that? Well, apparently more people are watching the Olympics on their iPads, their computers, their phones, then watched the Super Bowl on NBC in 2015. They sent those numbers out the other day. My wife is younger than me, and she started laughing when I said, "Who's going to watch on digital?" And she said, "Oh, you're so old. You're so out of it." And she's right. The numbers have panned out. I mean, people are at work. They're walking around. They're in restaurants. They're not sitting at home in front of the TV. So people are watching in the daytime when most of the stuff is going on live. And then at night, they package that stuff so they can tell you the stories so that you can get your fill of your Olympics in 3 or 4 hours at night. And NBC or whoever covers a big event like this always gets ripped by, the naysayers, the critics, the haters are always, "Oh, there's too many commercials. I don't want the backstories. It's too jingoistic." You can't please all the people. No matter what you do, somebody's waiting to be offended or angered out there. But look, I'm working Olympics all day long. Come back to the hotel. Maybe we go get a bite to eat. I come back in the room and I kick it on because I want to hear Costas tell me what's going on in beach volleyball and swimming. All the other events I don't get to see. I got a couple of friends calling whitewater rafting, weightlifting, all these other events that, to me, that was the Olympics I grew up with. To watch the NBA guys, that's fine, but I can see them all the time. When am I going to see a Bulgarian weightlifter? I get one chance every 4 years. And remember, in these smaller countries, in these smaller sports, when these guys do something, they instantly become a national hero. That's not going to happen for our NBA guys playing basketball.
Right.
They're already on that step.
Talking to Jim Watson, part of the NBC talent lineup with the Olympics. A pure pleasure having him for his time, talent, and treasure right here on Sports Scene, live right here on the radio at 1221. Also anywhere in the world, tunein.com, type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. That's amazing how we talk about it, Jim. We're about the same age range that you can hear this show anywhere in the world just because of that TuneIn app. And, of course, NBC is taking that tenfold with all their different apps and phones for the Olympics. But I want to say one thing. I'm glad you brought up Walton, because I know, of course, he's done a lot of different announcing over the years, primarily known for basketball. But his son, of course, is now the head coach of the Lakers. You're right there with the Sparks. Folks, don't be fooled by this at all. The person who's going to give him the most advice, the one-on-ones, Jim, you probably can attest to it, will be the father and son sitting down prior to the season starting this fall, will be Luke and Bill Walton talking, because Walton was a great player at UCLA and a great player in the NBA.
Absolutely. And, we all do it, don't we? Don't
Yes.
we all, in our lives, when we get into a tough spot, if you're lucky enough to have your dad around, you go to your dad, you ask him, because he cares about you. He's going to tell you straight. And I would think Luke's probably talked to him 100 times already about this job. He talked to him before he got it. People said when Luke jumped from Golden State, where he was, Kerr's assistant, that, he's not ready yet. He doesn't have the experience. Look, the only way you're going to get ready is to do it. And it's a good opportunity. The Lakers are a mess. They're a couple of years away from being any good. So it's perfect. He can grow up with them. If he makes mistakes right now, and he will because he's a young coach, it's not going to cost him a championship. It might cost him a couple of wins. Nobody's really going to notice it in the long run. He's a bright kid. I actually covered him in high school down in San Diego, and then, of course, during his time at the University of Arizona and then into the pros. He's really well-liked. The Laker fan base loves him. And getting back to what you were saying about the Dodgers before, this is a Laker guy. He lives in Manhattan Beach, about 15 minutes from Staples Center still, even though when he was working for the Warriors. Still at his house. He had a barbecue restaurant down there. He walks on the street. People know him. I saw him on a flight coming back from San Francisco about, 3 or 4 months ago, right when all this talk started. And he's still the same guy. He's still the kid I met in high school. He's just, he's grown up, but he's a nice guy, and he's an honest guy. And I think the only thing that could get in his way is that, dealing with the Los Angeles media when you're beloved is easier than dealing with the national media when they're trying to catch you in something. So he's just going to have to learn to be a little more guarded with comments, but he's a wonderful guy, and I think everybody in L.A. is on board with it. I don't think there's anybody who thought it was a bad decision.
Before we talk more about the Olympics, you also are, of course, the voice of the Sparks, and 21-3. It's kind of different for them. They play primarily during the summer, a little bit in the fall as well, to have such a nice break. All the WNBA women. I'll tell you one thing. I've been at several sporting events, worked for Fox, CBS, ESPN, countless amount of networks. I have never seen a better women's basketball team in my life than the Sparks this year. They are unbelievable.
How good were they for, they went on that amazing run. They went 20-1 to tie the all-time WNBA record set by the Comets in 96. And again, a lot of my friends, WNBA, I'm not watching that. But I'm telling you, who doesn't want to watch the best at something? And I think you're right. And I'm lucky enough I get to sit there with Mary Murphy courtside and call these games. And I'm not a homer. I'm not that guy. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're the greatest ever if they're 15-15. But,
sure.
When they were 20-1, just watching the way they worked as a team, and this is the thing that I've come to love about women's basketball, and I do both, is that they still work as a team on the women's side, where on the men's team, you're always going to have that big tent pole. You're going to have that LeBron that when the game's on the line, you know who's getting the ball. It's the guy who gets the biggest check. It's not like that in women's basketball. They still do a set, they run a play, and they take the best option. And Brian Agler, the head coach, I don't think he's getting enough credit because you have Candace Parker and Nneka Ogwumike and Tolliver. This is a really good group, and people are saying, well, they should win. Well, you can't just roll the balls out. You still got to put some X's and O's on the grease board. They finally lost a couple of games, after the streak ended. They lost in Atlanta, then they lost again in Indiana. But we get back to action after the Olympics. They got 10 games left. They're still the favorite. Their nemesis is Minnesota, who's only a half a game behind them in the I think one game back in the loss column. And then New York's playing pretty well. But I still think LA is the odds-on favorite. But if you get to the playoffs, you never know.
Yeah, they got Seattle, Phoenix coming up on the road, of course, late August.
Yeah, I just booked my trip to Seattle about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, there you go. And finally, folks, whether you're watching, like you said, the minor sports like table tennis, of course, then, of course, you got golf, volleyball, gymnastics, swimming, track and field, basketball. There's nothing like that Olympic experience. When I was a kid, I went to Montreal, but I think everybody should put an Olympic Games on their bucket list, and we're lucky to have Jim Watson, who's called several Olympics. What's your fondest memory?
Easy. 2000, beach volleyball, Sydney. It was Misty May and Holly McPeak on the women's side, and they were medal favorites, but Misty was pretty young. Nobody was really sure. She was a super talent in college. Everybody thought they were going to win, and they didn't play so well. It was a new partnership, and they just didn't blend. On the men's side, we had no chance. And out of nowhere, and you get two two-man teams in the Olympics, the lesser of the two teams for the Americans, two guys, Dane Blanton and Eric Benoit Moana, African-American and a Hawaiian, team up about a year before the Olympics and go for it. and they just catch fire at the Olympics, and it became the story. And all of a sudden, we noticed every time Costas would throw to us, we were getting more viewers, we were getting a bigger chunk of time. And then finally, when they advanced to the gold medal final, we led prime time. They had a helicopter fly in over the Tasman Sea and fireworks going off in this beautiful stadium, just like it is in Rio, on the beach, 10,000 people. But the Americans were playing the number one ranked team in the world champions, the Brazilians, and they came from behind and won it with a block at the net. The place went crazy because Australians love to root for underdogs. So even though we're big bad America, we were the underdog on the sand that day. And Dave Blanton, who's calling the games now with Chris Marlowe, he and Fennoy, as they call him, Eric Fennoy Moana, won it, and it was just pure joy. I mean, to watch these two guys who were completely anonymous to the American public 30 days before, all of a sudden they couldn't pay for a beer when they got home because everybody was feting them. I mean, it was just a tremendous story. Even the Brazilians kind of enjoyed it because it was just unbridled happiness everywhere on the beach.
Jim, all the best, my friend. Thank you for sharing some of your great memories and, of course, what's going on at the Olympics right now. Safe travels up and down the East and West Coast, my friend.
Thank you so much. I'm on the way to work right now.
Very good. Have fun, and we will definitely talk to you soon. Thank you so much, Jim. You made our day.
Awesome. 3 o'clock Eastern, gymnastics. Tune it in. It's worth it. See you guys.
Very good. All right. You got it right there. Nice to have somebody from the Olympics right there. We'll take a break coming up for the news in just a moment right here on 1650 AM. Buffalo Wild Wings Fantasy Draft Party. Be part of it. Get ready for an exciting NFL 2016 season. 8 or more in your group. Draft kit, NFL swag, and coupons and much more. Contact Scott Management at the Hampton location right there at 4201 Kilgore Avenue at the Peninsula Town Center. Don't hesitate. This is the place for fantasy football. B-Dubs in Hampton. First regular season game is in early September. Wings, beer, sports at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hampton. Go there.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Baltimore's police commissioner says biased law enforcement will not be tolerated. And he adds that the department has already fired some officers who committed some of the most egregious violations found during a Justice Department investigation. A sheriff's office spokesman says a couple of law enforcement officers have been shot while responding to a call in western Arkansas, about 115 miles west of Little Rock. No word on the condition of the officers. Hillary Clinton's campaign looking to capitalize on Donald Trump's remarks yesterday about the Second Amendment, in which he suggested that gun rights advocates could do something to stop Clinton from putting anti-gun justices on the Supreme Court, Trump insisting he was not advocating violence. On Wall Street, the Dow down 29 points. The Nasdaq is off 20. More details at srnnews.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-423-4557. That's 1-800-423-4557. 1-800-423-4557. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors not available in all states.
If you're in the mood for a taste treat that's sweet and rich, here's a value lunch special right up your alley. A $15 gift certificate for the Royal Chocolate Company in the Virginia Beach Town Center, half off for $7.50. Indulge yourself with gourmet chocolates, chocolate-covered strawberries, truffles, so much more. Call 488-1010 and get your $15 gift certificate for Royal Chocolates, half price, just $7.50. It's on the value line. Call 488-1010. Your taste buds will thank you.
Nor'easter season is here.
so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Long's Billiards in Newport News is having a massive sale. 7, 8, even 9-foot tables are at an all-time low price, including Connolly, Brunswick, and Olhausen. 1,000 pool cues in stock are up to 30, 40, even 50% off. Over 100 pool tables also on sale. When gone, they're gone forever. Log on to longsbilliards.com. Call 599-3661 and visit them at 9906 Warwick Boulevard. Major clearance prices going on now at Long's Billiards.
Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Email the show, bicogb@hotmail.com. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris in the Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com studios. It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com.
And just to follow back up about Jim Watson, we had on from NBC talking about the Olympics, and of course, really excellent to have him on talking about the summer showcase going on in Brazil. Also, what a great job by the swimming team. That's personally my favorite. I love swimming. I like to watch the volleyball. You know, the other sports are great too, like track and field, basketball, tennis, golf, but there's nothing like swimming. And of course, a lot of the women like to watch gymnastics too. But Phelps, at his age, into his 30s, a father now, doing a great job. The Americans over 20 medals. China's doing very well. Japan, Russia, and Australia. So look for those 5 as we go into our full 2 weeks. Again, United States, China, Japan, Russia, and Australia as the medal count winners. And of course, we mentioned with football season coming up right around the corner, Buffalo Wild Wings. Go by and see Scott for your fantasy draft party at the Hampton location. Of course, each week we have Sports Scene from 12 to 1, archived on gjbtv.com by clicking the YouTube link on the homepage. Tell your friends. Greg Bick on Twitter. Shop on all the marketplace sponsors. And, of course, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. You hear that, tourists? HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit as well. I was down in Ag's Head. A lot of people were telling me about HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, how they use it for restaurants, services, coupons, marketplace. Everything is right there. You click the image, it takes you right to the website. No minutia, no blogs, and that's what people like. As they're traveling on the road on 64, 95, or even in Hampton Roads, they want to find something that has everything, that's all inclusive. Finally, you can bookmark it as well for the 2 years and counting. Hampton Roads Online Mall.com as well. And everybody needs a great place to spend the night, of course, a nice bed. You always hear about pillows. How about this? Mattress Air Foam Water. We take your sleep seriously. Go by and see John Smith and the friendly staff in the Denby section of Newport News at 14501 Warwick Boulevard. See their link on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Mattress and Mattress Air Foam as well.com. That's mattressairfoam.com. Half price, sleep number, digital air mattress, savvy latex mattress, low prices as well, ship nationwide. Give them a call at 706-2694. That's, of course, Mattress Air Foam Water. We'll take a short break, come back with more Sports Scene live on the radio, and talk about the psychology of sports after these messages.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
If you're in the mood for a taste treat that's sweet and rich, here's a Value Line special right up your alley. A $15 gift certificate for the Royal Chocolate Company in the Virginia Beach Town Center, half off for $7.50. Indulge yourself with gourmet chocolates, chocolate-covered strawberries, truffles, so much more. Call 488-1010 and get your $15 gift certificate for Royal Chocolates, half price, just $7.50. It's on the Value Line. Call 488-1010. Your taste buds will thank you.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
All right, back live right here on the radio, 1650 AM, tunein.com, my background, gjbtv.com, and of course on Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. You'll see Elements for Personal Healing. Very appropriate talking to Cathy Dress. And Cathy, I'm going to ask you with the Olympics going on. I know you're a big baseball fan, big Orioles fan as well. So much is meant to be about the psychology of sports, about the men and women competing in the Olympics. What are they thinking about for their personal healing away from the sport? Because a lot of it's processing, but also they're away from their families and their friends as well.
You're absolutely right. And that can create a lot of stress. And that stress alone can then cause a disconnect between the body and the mind. You know, the body has to follow what the mind tells it to do. Mm-hmm. And when there's a disconnect there, I mean, you can ultimately go right into stress mode. And if you don't come out of that stress mode, then, you know, physical things start to happen, injuries, as you said, the psychological, stuff, which, the old phrase that, there's a mind component to everything, and they're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, too, a lot of these athletes, are away, a lot of the women are away from their kids. There is a lot of individual sports like tennis or golf or gymnastics, even though there's a team environment. Swimming is very much alone by yourself in the pool. And really, you have your support staff, but if you have a bad day or a bad moment, it lasts for several weeks because you're there for several weeks. There's a lot of anxiety with the world as far as, terrorism. Then you hear about the Zika virus in Brazil. A lot of women did not go there because of that. So there's a lot of elements, no pun intended, that go into the Olympics that they have to deal with. It's the before and after.
Sure, and it's not just the women, it's the men too. You see Michael Phelps has his fiance and baby down there, and I know that they, probably went through a lot of really good thought processes trying to figure out, do they bring him or don't they? And we've got such, more men, so much more involved in parenting, and they feel the stress. And I was really actually quite pleased, how they did an interview earlier this week with Michael Phelps, on the depression that he suffered and how that affected his life. Allison Schmidt just did an interview on how the last 4 years, she had a lot of depression that she went through. I work with all of that, and I do it through Chinese medicine. And especially through two modalities that I'm certified in, which are Body Talk and AcuNect. And then I bring the Chinese medicine principles in because we work with meridians. We also work with Eastern medicine with chakra balancing. And if you think about even the physical stress that all of the athletes go through, then you'll know why, some of the athletes are turning to holistic medicine. They're turning to things, like Michael Phelps and several of the other swimmers. You saw those, the cupping circles.
What are those exactly?
Well, cupping is a form of Chinese medicine. It's not one that I do, actively, but, I have had it done on me before just to see what it was like. And what they're doing is, they're putting heat in this special cup, and I'm sure you can probably, Google it online to see what it looks like, but it's kind of a bell-shaped cup. And then with that heat, they're then cupping it onto the skin, and it's pulling that skin up. It's pulling the blood circulation to the surface, and that's why you see those circles. It looks like bruising, but it's not a normal bruise like when you fall down and hurt yourself.
Right.
But the red that's the blood coming to the surface, and it's also releasing some of the muscular tension.
Right, I tell you, it doesn't look good physically when you see it on TV because, I mean, it's so polarizing. I mean, it really just sticks out. There's nothing attractive about it, but, you know, they're trying to win Olympics. I mean, look, and you talk about supplements and Chinese medicine and so forth. Think about what these athletes, think about what you and I and your husband every day, we try to get the proper food, nutrition, beverages in our bodies. Michael Phelps is known for tons of protein, tons of carbs, tons of medicine. Then there's the psychology behind it too as well, the before and after. And don't forget his mother's there as well to help his wife too. So there's a lot of support system, but these athletes, what they're putting in their bodies and what they're going through in their minds is so important.
It's very important, and there are some things that, you know, they'll go to the doctors for, and the doctors, you know, eventually just kind of throw up their hands. They've tried everything, and regular Western medicine is not, you know, is not solving the problem, you know, of and by itself. So bringing in natural, holistic, different kinds of modalities really does help. You know, you could have a scar from one of your athletic competitions, you know, whether you fell or whether you got, you know, hit in the head or whatever, and, you know, you could be holding an emotional charge within that gets in the way of healing. You could, you know, have a scar, whether it be an adhesion that's, you know, that's internal or whether it be a scar that's on the surface. You know, if it doesn't look like a healthy scar, you know, after a while in what should have been the healing time, if it looks raised and red and kind of ugly and angry, you know, and it might feel like it's numb or it's tingly, then you're holding something within that scar, within that adhesion that's either adhering the connective tissue to, which I work with, you know, with the craniosacral release, or you're holding an emotional charge or, you know, some sort of a thought process within it. And I went through that myself. You know, I had a knee injury years ago, had to have some surgery, and boy, that scar just stayed so red and ugly and raised. And it wasn't until I got into energy medicine that we went directly to that particular injury. And there was a lot of anger being held because at the time I didn't feel like I was being supported in the healing of it, the physical healing of it. Once you release that anger, it only took like a matter of days, and it was a beautiful, you know, pale scar. It was no longer raised. It was nice and soft and supple again. Never had a problem with it since.
Right. Let's talk about what you do day to day. You're based on the peninsula. Of course, give out your phone number, website, and all the good stuff.
Sure. My business is Elements for Personal Healing. So my website is elementsforpersonalhealing.com, and I am based in the Grafton, Yorktown area. My phone number is 598-2065. That's my office number.
Right.
And
how about social media?
I do have a Facebook business site. You know, it is Elements for Personal Healing.
But your website's so elaborate, though.
You know, being elaborate, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I do and things that I love to educate people about. With that, you know, the Body Talk AccuNect, I'm also an instructor. I teach a half-day course on what self-care is. You know, your body has that natural ability to help heal itself. And so when we get into that stress mode or that fight or flight mode, you're taking away all of the power of that mind and body to work together to send healing to wherever it needs.
Right. And of course,
that's why, you know, while stress may not start, you know, the injury or the trauma or whatever it was that, you know, that began it, you know, it's certainly going to exacerbate it.
Yeah, every day is a new day. Your body and mind have to go together, whether you're an athlete or a business person or a traveler on vacation. There's all types of stress. I was in Vegas a few weeks ago, but still, I was right there at a beautiful hotel with friends and so forth, but I still couldn't wait to get back home. There's always stress no matter where you go. You could be in Hawaii for a month in a bathing suit at the beach eating seafood every day, but there's still going to be some type of stress.
Well, you're going to have a little bit of stress every day on things. You know, if you're trying to cross a busy intersection and there's too many cars and you're worried about getting run over, you know, or being in traffic. I mean, how many times do people let that stress take over and turn into road rage?
You're right. Every day.
Yeah, if we're coming back into ourselves and coming back into a heart-centered space, you know, we're going to understand that person who may have cut us off, yeah, he may have behaved like a jerk at that moment, but he may have had just something so stressful going on, you know, whether it be anger or fear or worry. He may have been on his way to the ER for a family member or just had a horrific meeting with the boss.
Well, give us
if we can,
go ahead.
So opening ourselves to that compassion, that's us coming from a heart-centered place. And as you can see around the country and around the world right now, we're having a lot of issues with it.
Yeah, and how about the election? the next 3 months are going to be nothing but drama, of course. I think both Trump and Clinton, no matter who you root for, they both need some elements for personal healing.
They do, definitely. And speaking of the sports, you think, someone as prolific as Tiger Woods in golf, everything that he ended up, experiencing from imbalances, when you've got too much imbalance going on within the kidneys and bladder area, or what we call water element within the 5 elements of Chinese medicine, you can become quite arrogant. You can become quite feeling like you've got, you are all powerful and can control anything and everything, and you start making decisions that are really not right for you.
Right.
And it's because that particular element controls and has to work with all the rest of the elements. Where it's not about just the one piece that's happening. You've got a lot of different things when there's imbalances that can affect other parts of your life, and that's why body and mind, when they're at an imbalanced or a disconnected state, it can manifest physically.
You got to stay hydrated too, of course. Mind and body. You mentioned Tiger Woods, his body's broken down, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a lot of athletes that are prematurely retiring early because of their body. But give us your phone number and website one more time before we let you go, Catherine Dress.
Sure. The website is elementsforpersonalhealing.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone number is 757-598-2065.
Always good to talk to you, and we will definitely talk to you before the holidays as well. Loved hearing your insight, and we'll talk some more.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, Catherine.
You're very welcome.
Talk to you soon. And it's so much true, Joe Daniel, that mind and body work so hand in hand. And when you're hydrated and you're fed, you do feel a lot better, because in the stress of driving and the heat, the excessive heat, or the day-to-day minutia of life, it can really wear on you.
Absolutely. It's all about what you eat. You fill your body up with fast food and junk food and all that. I mean, you're going to feel it, and it's going to have a negative impact in your life. But if you're eating healthy and eating the way you're supposed to, everything else just falls in line.
And that's true for so many athletes and business people and tourists alike, kids as well, and senior citizens. Sports Scene live on the radio. We heard from the psychology of sports there. Come back for our business segment after these messages.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles. Good Italian food, daily specials, and a place people enjoy is Spaghetti Eddie's. Indulge in your mouth-watering pizza, pasta, subs, salads, appetizers, and desserts. Open 7 days a week. Log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com and visit them at Taylor Road and on Eden Way North in Chesapeake for lunch and dinner. Like them on Facebook. Italian food you can count on is at Spaghetti Eddie's. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
So much is about summer and good music like this, Joe Daniel. To me, it's all about three things: the beach, the pool, and air conditioning. I love those. That's my Olympic sports: beach, pool, and AC. Was in Nags Head, had a great time. And, of course, this is a very, very good music here as well. A locals tradition is CP Shuckers with locations on Shore Drive and Pacific Avenue. People love their prime rib seafood and much more. They showcase NASCAR, MLB, of course, the Olympics, college sports, golf, soccer, tennis. Like both locations on Facebook. Log on to cpshuckers.com. Eat or be eaten at CP Shuckers. Go by and see Matt, Mark, Leon. They have great crab cakes, seafood, pasta, appetizers, salads, burgers, desserts at both CP Shuckers locations, your summer hotspot. And of course, we want to welcome another fun place for locals and tourists both is Dawn Richardson from the Mermaid's Porch in Portsmouth, a wonderful bed and breakfast. How are you, Dawn?
I am well. And yourself?
Very nice. Good to hear your voice as always. And let's talk about the Mermaid's Porch bed and breakfast. How did it all get started?
It's been pretty much a lifelong dream to open a bed and breakfast. And so once I retired from the Navy, I said, I don't want to work for anybody else anymore, and I'm going to give this a shot. So that's how it came about.
And she's at 497 North Street in Portsmouth. The phone number there is 673-3790. That's 673-3790. You can see her wonderful website at mermaidporch.com. For a first-time person going there, what can they expect?
It's a Victorian Queen Anne home, and the rooms are eclectically furnished. I've traveled extensively during my time in the Navy, so there are things from the Far East and things from Europe, and they should expect a wonderful breakfast and a relaxing atmosphere. It feels like you're visiting your favorite aunt.
Absolutely. And, of course, talk about all the amenities that go with it for families. What can they expect as far as food is concerned, and, of course, hospitality?
Okay. I tend to greet them with an offer of a beverage. I serve beer, wine, and soda, and then make dinner recommendations for the lovely Old Town area where we have some excellent restaurants. After dinner, they can come back and enjoy the hot tub in the courtyard, and then have a pleasant night's sleep, and in the morning have a full breakfast. So tea or coffee, I have 6 different juices, there's a Greek yogurt, and then a hot plated breakfast. So it's a full breakfast.
I think Joe, Daniel, and I are already sold. And I hope all the tourists hear that too as well. Sure, Virginia Beach is the number one entertainment, but still, you can stay in Portsmouth and drive to Virginia Beach as well, can't you, Dawn?
Absolutely.
Very good.
On the weekends, it's not a bad drive at all.
No, the Mermaid's Porch Bed and Breakfast, the premier hospitality place in Hampton Roads in the Old Town section of Portsmouth. Dawn Richardson is our guest, former Navy veteran as well. Thank you for what you've done for our country as well. And, of course, what a wonderful website, of course, you've got. And, of course, the bed and breakfast. Really, there's something for everyone. Correct, Dawn?
Absolutely. The area is the largest collection of historic homes between Alexandria and Charleston. It's a lovely place to take a stroll. It's safe in the evening, and if you're into Pokemon, it seems to be a big Pokemon hub.
Oh, good. Pokemon is very, very popular. So, Dawn Richardson, go by and see her right there at the Mermaid's Porch in Portsmouth, bed and breakfast. Thank you for all that you do. And, folks, you can see her link as well on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Stay cool, and we'll talk to you very soon, Dawn.
Okay. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful person right there. And, of course, so much is about tourists, and they see the Yelps, and they see the awards, too, Joe Daniel.
Yeah, I was just looking at the website, and I see that they got reviews and 5 stars, so it looks nice. It looks very quaint, looks very nice, and then but yeah, 5-star reviews on Yelp, so definitely worth checking out. I just pulled it up now just so I can email it to my wife because it actually sounded like you said. I'm sold on it. I definitely want to check this out.
Yeah, you can see their link too, folks, on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, MermaidPorch.com. The Premier Buffet in Hampton Roads is open. Tokyo Grill and Buffet. They've got delicious Chinese, Japanese, hibachi, sushi, and American food. Great fruit and dessert. Great for kids, families, banquets, catering, holiday parties. It's all at 49 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Go by and see Bing and the great staff. They are proud supporters of the food bank as well. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week, as well as Saffron Mediterranean Cuisine in Newport News. Go by and see David. They've got the best shish kebabs in Virginia at 10417 Wark Boulevard in Newport News. Indoor, outdoor dining, lunch and dinner 7 days a week. They book your banquets and parties there as well. Hot and cold appetizers, entrees, fish, kids menu, desserts. They've got stews. They've got wraps. They've got great specials all over Hampton Roads at Saffron Mediterranean Cuisine, 10417 Wark Boulevard. Open daily for lunch and dinner. All types of online awards. You can see them in the restaurant section of Hampton Roads, onlinemall.com. Let's get to what teased me off.
What Tees You Off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
And she was talking about Pokemon, the constant promotion of Pokemon. For any adult over 30 doing that, really get something else to do, please. It's a fake little cartoon.
It's the future, man. It's the future.
People who say they can't find work, go to a restaurant. They definitely need people. Restaurants at cities like Nags Head, you know who you are, who just want to get people in and out of there quick. Let's enjoy ourselves. My solution, build a bigger restaurant. People who say, I need more time, I'm not ready. It's football season, Mr. Restaurant. It's now your time. Clergy with an agenda. I'm sorry, clergy with an agenda, that doesn't work. No clicks, please. And buffets that rarely change their menu. Change it every spring, summer, fall, and winter, if nothing else. Seafood is always good as well. Joe Daniel, and of course, who is Mr. Movie himself. And you've been watching great documentaries on sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my wife and I, we're not really keeping up with the Olympics too much, but we do watch a lot of Netflix, and so we've been watching, we watch a documentary about sugar, and just kind of going along with the healthy living and healthy eating, just trying to abstain away from sugar as much as possible. One of the things that really got me was the idea that your risk for diabetes goes up nearly 30% just by having a soda every single day.
Diet too?
Yeah, absolutely. And well, yeah, it's the fake sugar, so you got to watch out for that too as well. So, it's just learning, and we love to watch those kind of documentaries.
Drink Perrier like I do.
Perrier, you go. Carbonated water.
All right, I want to thank Jim Watson, one of the voices of the Olympics for NBC Sports. Cathy Dress talking about elements for personal healing with athletes and businesses and people. And Dawn Richardson, I think that was Joe Daniel's favorite guest, talking about bed and breakfast. This is Sports Scene. Go to GJBTV.com, hit the YouTube link, at Greg Bick on Twitter. I'm Greg Bicouvaris. We'll talk to you soon.
AM 1650 WHKT Portsmouth.
Really News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Bias policing will not be tolerated in Baltimore. That pledge from City Police Commissioner Kevin Davis, responding to a Justice Department report detailing unconstitutional practices in policing, use of excessive force, and the targeting of African Americans.
We know that our citizens are outraged at some of the details included in this report, and they should be.